quick video on how you could use the TradeSpace exploration tool with different type of data, and in this example I use data pulled from the Yahoo Finance API with some basic stock information. So we're gonna use it for picking dividend stocks. This video is not a financial advice. I don't know much about stock trading. The parameters I used are just an example. Didn't put much thought into it, and they're most likely wrong. So this type of data might not even be the best to use with TradeSpace exploration, since you don't really have the cost. Like, so one of the indicators that could tell you whether the stock is cheap or expensive could be price to earning. It's more complicated than that, but for this example I just renamed price to earning to cost, and at least we're gonna kind of spread it on the x-axis. We're not gonna get a nice Pareto line like we would in other type of data. So here we have the data, and the first parameter is the name. Then we have the dividend yield, 5-year average dividend yield, and payout ratio. And there are some other which we're not gonna even use. So normally you would actually add a curve to each of them and add the weight. So the first one is the dividend yield. So what I put here is as a curve is that for 0% you get 0, and then the most desired is like 15%, and above that it's probably not very sustainable. So we kind of roll back to 0 for 30%, and I give it 20% weight. And this is just the current year dividend. So say if you're kind of thinking long term, maybe the more important would be the 5-year average. So we put a 40% weight on that, and in average usually expect lower yields. So we put 1 for 8%, and above that doesn't get any extra points. And the next one, payout ratio. So it's kind of important as well, I suppose. And maybe I'm looking for a company that doesn't spend everything on the dividends. So just half of it, like, so 0.5 is the most desirable, and the rest is spent on the investment. So you can expect that maybe the share is gonna appreciate in value. So here is what we got out of this. So again, like, it's much simplified, and it's probably not gonna give us very meaningful results, but let's have a look anyway. So on the cost axis we have price to earnings. So let's say I'm not gonna even look above 25, and let's see who's the most desirable for this those parameters that we used. So here we look at the highest utility, which is a company called Rokita, and it's actually if we look down, we can see it has 12% 5-year average dividend, around 10% the current, and the payout is right at the 50%. So those are actually the most the parameters that we set to the most desirable. Then we have Kente, which is kind of dividend aristocrat as well, and some other companies. So even with this simple analysis, we were able to pick some dividend aristocrats from Warsaw Stock Exchange. As I mentioned, Yahoo Financial API is free, so a lot of data will be not available, and say some of the companies might score differently because of that. So you should be aware of that, and obviously you should put much more thought into preparing such analysis. So 3 parameters is most likely not what you want to actually make any financial decisions based on that. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.